Good morning, Commissioners. I'm John Dow with Save Our Beaches San Clemente. Slide 2, please. OCTA continues to inflict unnecessary damage on San Clemente's beaches through massive hard armoring projects and a futile and ineffective effort to protect its tracks. This self-interested approach prioritizes speed and bureaucratic convenience over balanced collaborative solutions and should stop. And a focus on what delivers the greatest public benefit should begin. Slide 3, please. The best solution is a wide sandy beach, which protected these tracks for more than 100 years and benefited all stakeholders. Slide 4. Yet OCTA has doubled down on hard armoring as reflected in its coastal resiliency study and its Area 4 CDP application. Predictably, a study prepared by an engineering firm hired by OCTA with a narrow, expediency-driven scope is now advancing 3 alternatives, and all include more hard armoring with token one-time sand placement, and all are guaranteed to continue the beach-destroying doom loop OCTA has created. Slide 5. Concerningly, alternatives that avoided regulatory review and stakeholder collaboration were prioritized. Slide 6. These same hard armoring concepts appear in the pending Area 4 CDP. That project would destroy the beach at one of California's most heavily visited state parks and should be denied. OCTA should not be spending public dollars to destroy public resources. And when considering alternatives, the evaluation objective should be determined the least environmentally damaging practical alternative. With this as a guide, a win-win solution exists. With more than $300 million in committed public funding, OCTA could place millions of cubic yards of sand and restore San Clemente's beaches to their historic widths, reestablishing the natural buffer protecting these tracks for over a century. Please require significant sustained sand replenishment before any future armoring and for past beach destruction, and preserve San Clemente's beaches for future generations of Californians. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Gary Walsh.
Colleague John Dow just spoke about the emergency permit from OCTA before you. Save Our Beaches SC has advocated that OCTA could protect their tracks if they work diligently on restoring the beaches, their best armoring for the past 130 years. But here's where OCTA is trying to pull a sleight of hand. Inside of their permit request for engineer revetment, they boast how they will dump 500,000 cubic yards of sand if their permit is approved. What is glaringly missing is when and how that would happen. In any case, we are adamantly against a one-time dump of sand. For tens of thousands of years, the natural order of sand replenishment occurred from rivers and creeks on a continual basis year after year. Our government cut off that supply about 100 years ago by building systems that stopped the natural flow. Sand must be applied to mimic the natural replenishment. That means an ongoing replenishment plan, not a one-time dump. What is also not clear is what after building their engineered revetment, they declare placing sand down is no longer feasible. They're not fearful of fines or mitigation as they use public money, your money, my money, to pay. OCTA does not generate a profit. They rely on taxpayer dollars for everything. And if you'd see the photos, you would see that the revetment they're proposing would extend 50 feet out, and that's where the high tide line comes in. In effect, it would eliminate this beach for nearly 2/3 of a mile. The California Coastal Commission was founded for the very purpose of ensuring that our coastline would not only be accessible for all citizens to enjoy, and entities, whether public or private, would not be able to develop the coastline in a manner that would exclude the use of the coastline. You're in a position to ensure current and future generations will be able to continue to enjoy this precious natural resource. For all of us, please use that power.
Thank you.
Mitch Silverstein, Surfrider Foundation. So on November 20th, the Commission issued OCTA's 4th emergency permit in this corridor since 2021. You can see at the ignore the arrow, actually look north where the riprap really comes out far and you don't see a beach anymore. That's what we're talking about. Through these so-called emergencies, over 4,000 tons of rock now cover what was once a beautiful public beach in front of Cypress Shores, completely gone. The lateral access at trestles that generations of surfers and beachgoers have used is now blocked. Cotton's Point, the northernmost break of world-famous trestles, severely degraded with boulders now in the surf zone. That's at the very top corner. You can kind of see a little sand. That's Cotton's surf break. The current emergency started in September 2021. That's 4 years ago. The required follow-up permit still isn't finalized. 4 emergencies in 4 years for the same area. This is now a chronic issue. It's no longer emergency response. In fact, it's systematic destruction of our public beaches without the environmental review, alternatives analysis, or public process the Coastal Act and CEQA require. We appreciate staff denying additional emergency armoring just north of this stretch last year, proving that emergency isn't inevitable. And we appreciate the difficult work negotiating mitigation for Cypress Shores. That's ongoing. But what we need is first to ensure that follow-up CDP requires revetment removal in favor of sand and nature-based adaptation, or at minimum a significant reduction of that revetment to restore public access. Second, and critically, we need a full EIR for this entire rail corridor before authorizing more armoring. Require genuine alternatives analysis, including inland realignment, and require long-term planning, not endless emergencies. After 4 years and 24,000 tons at Cypress Shores, the pattern is undeniable. Without comprehensive planning, OCTA will destroy San Clemente's beaches one emergency at a time. This beach is irreplaceable. Please require the planning and review our coast deserves before it's permanently lost. Thank you.